The description of the second part of the femur, that is the shaft. The shaft is cylindrical. It is convex forwards. For the description purpose, the shaft is divided into three parts, that is upper 1/3, middle 1/3 and lower 1/3. The shaft, which is directed convex forwards and it is directed oblique downwards and medially. Why? Because the upper ends of the two femur are separated by the width of the pelvis. Like this. So the upper end are separated widely, but the lower end they are close. The shaft runs obliquely downwards and medially. Now we will see the description of the shaft. The middle end of the shaft, medial 1/3 of the shaft will have three borders and three surfaces. The three borders is the medial border, lateral border and the posterior border. The medial and the lateral borders are rounded borders, but the posterior border is roughened. It is thick border. And the three surfaces are the medial surface, lateral surface and the anterior surface. Now the upper 1/3 of the shaft. The upper 1/3 of the shaft, the posterior border, which is thick border, enclosed and surface in between. So it has four surfaces: medial surface, lateral surface, then the spiral line and the lateral lip of the gluteal tuberosity. So this is the spiral line and lateral lip of the gluteal tuberosity. It has four borders and four surfaces are the anterior surface, medial surface, lateral surface and the posterior surface which lie in between that is the lateral lip of the gluteal tuberosity and the spiral line in between here. Now we will see the lower 1/3. The lower 1/3 of the shaft. The two lips of the linea aspera, this is the linea aspera or the posterior border, they bifurcate into two borders, that is the lateral supracondylar line and the medial supracondylar line. In between the two lines, it encloses one more surface. This is the popliteal surface of the lower end of the femur. It has anterior surface, medial surface, lateral surface and the posterior popliteal surface. Now we will see the attachment on the shaft of the femur. First attachment is the vastus intermedius muscle. This is the origin of the vastus intermedius muscle. It takes origin from the upper 3/4 of the anterior and lateral surface of the femur. Then just below the vastus intermedius there is the origin of the articularis genu. The vastus lateralis muscle. This is the vastus lateralis muscle. It arises from the upper part of the intertrochanteric line. So this is the intertrochanteric line, the upper part. The vastus lateralis muscle takes origin. Then it extends into the anterior and inferior part of the greater trochanter. Here, lateral margin of the gluteal tuberosity and upper half of the lateral lip of the linea aspera. Up till here is the vastus lateralis muscle origin. Now, second muscle is the vastus medialis muscle, which takes origin from the lower half of the intertrochanteric line. Then it takes origin from the spiral line, medial lip of the linea aspera up to the supracondylar line inferiorly. So this is the origin of the vastus medialis muscle. Now on the gluteal tuberosity, here we can see the insertion of the deep fibers of the gluteus maximus muscle here. The adductor longus is attached to the medial lip of the linea aspera. In between, adductor longus is attached to the medial lip of the linea aspera between the vastus medialis muscle and adductor brevis muscle here. So this is the adductor longus. This is the adductor brevis. Just below the brevis, here is the insertion of the adductor magnus muscle. Now the short head of the biceps femoris arises from the lateral lip of the linea aspera. This is the lateral lip of the linea aspera. From here we can see the origin of the short head of the biceps femoris. It is in between the adductor magnus, here adductor magnus, and the upper part of the 2/3 of the lateral supracondylar line. Here. बस कर